Is Vladimir Putin about to lose his Trojan horse here in Europe? Hello, my name is Caroline, and I would like to welcome you to another episode of my podcast, One Opinion from Europe. Now, within the next few days, we will be having an election here in Europe, which will have significant consequences, not just here in Europe, but also throughout the world, specifically in Russia, and also there will be ripple effects or impacts within the US. We have in Hungary Viktor Orban, who has been in power now for over 16 years, and he is coming up for a new election, and he is facing off with Peter MAGA of the Tisza party. Now, in the past, Orban has normally had a very easy run of things in the elections because his opposition parties were so fragmented that it was quite easy for him to gain a majority. And he has used these 16 years to put institutions and rules and laws in place, which makes him winning an election even easier. But this time round, there is an opposition leader called Peter MAGA, who is not a liberal. He is also a conservative, but he is more of a mainstream conservative. And he is running on the campaign of ending of corruption and also a new pro-Europe Hungary. He has been gaining a lot of support within the polls. We are seeing he's having a lead of maybe 10 to even 30%. Now, of course, Viktor Orban isn't just sitting back and letting this happen. There are many rumors and even more, there's evidence that he will be fighting hard, maybe to even rig these elections, obviously within his favor. He has already performed a significant amount of gerrymandering, which would lead to the effect that he only has to win about 45% of the votes just to have a simple majority in parliament. It is estimated that Peter MAGA's Tisza party will need at least 10% to really be able to secure a majority parliament. However, it must be also noted that this will not be enough for him to make sweeping changes and to repeal many of the very conservative laws and institutions that Viktor Orban has put in place. When setting up the institutions and the judicial system, it will need a supermajority, i.e. a two-thirds majority, to repeal any of this. And it is not expected that Peter MAGA will be able to reach this majority. So we are all sitting on the edge of our seats to see what will happen next Sunday. There have been a number of false flag efforts. There was one communication which was intercepted where Russia had actually proposed setting up a fake assassination on Orban to get him more sympathy and more people to come out to vote. Now, of course, that did bring back echoes of what happened in the US election in 2024. There's also been another, what is deemed to be a false flag event, where apparently in Serbia they found rucksacks of explosives above a gas pipeline running from Russia through Serbia into Hungary, which is one of the main pipelines that supplies Hungary with gas. And the Orban Fidesz party was saying this was due to Ukrainians, and the Ukrainians are trying to take over Hungary. But I feel that not very many people believe this. I mean, Ukraine has enough problems as it is without trying to invade Hungary. But these are the sort of reasons that Orban is bringing up. Now, if Peter MAGA does manage to pull off a win or even a significant win on Sunday, then there will be significant impacts on Russia. And this is why they are giving Hungary so much support in trying to win this election, whether it's valid support or rigged support. Now, Hungary has always been the EU veto. So when the EU has been proposing and authorizing funds. I think it's about 90 billion euros that need to be authorized in the EU. Viktor Orban has vetoed this, and obviously his veto is worth a lot to Russia. He has also vetoed sanctions for Russia here in Europe. And so this is why he has been named Russia's Trojan horse here in the EU. And most recently, there have been recordings of Lavrov with Orban, where Orban has been passing on a lot of confidential information which was being discussed within the EU Commissions, passing this on to Russia. So if Orban is no longer in this circle of the EU, then this will have a significant impact on Russia. Also, it has to be said that Hungary was one of the last main countries here in Europe still officially taking oil and gas from Russia. So they will gradually lose this customer. Obviously, that won't happen overnight because Peter MAGA would have to build up an alternative supply. But these are serious impacts which a change in power in Hungary would have on Russia. So if Peter MAGA and his Tisza party managed to win the election on Sunday, what impact would that have on America and Donald Trump? Obviously, it would not have a significant economic impact, but Viktor Orban has always been a key ally for Donald Trump, and he's been the standard bearer of MAGA's movement's vision of a national sovereignty and illiberalism. We all know he has been a frequent visitor to Mar-a-Lago, and it is said that a lot of his history of building up the illiberalism now in Hungary has been a foundation of much of Project 2025. So his departure would deprive the US of its primary European ideological model. So why are these elections here in Europe so critical? Well, Orban has mastered the art of using Hungary's veto in the European Council as a bargaining chip. He has often vetoed, as I've already mentioned, he's vetoed funding Ukraine's war. He has also vetoed sanctions for Russia. And the EU has currently held back 18 to 22 billion euros in support and funds for Hungary, basically because of corruption and the lack of judicial independence. So this is also very important for Peter MAGA, and he has been using this as one of his main reasons for the people to elect him, is that he will work together with the EU Commission to actually free up these funds, and that is a major amount of money for this very small country. But even if Orban loses, Europe may face a lame duck situation with Peter MAGA. As I've already mentioned, he would really need a supermajority to be able to move things and to change legislation. And so that would probably not be the situation at first. And we are here in Europe looking to very complex negotiations with Hungary going forward, even if Orban loses. As to my opinion on this election, very many people are saying that Orban is trying to find some reason why he could postpone or even cancel these elections. So it's a bit of nail biting up until next Sunday, very similar to the midterms in America. Now, my personal opinion is that I wish Peter MAGA and his Tisza party the best of luck. I think the Iran war and the unpopularity of Donald Trump will bring people out to vote, and I hope that that will be in significant numbers and it'll be too high for them to rig it. Anyway, time will tell, and hopefully things will start changing in Europe. We do have a number of other far-right parties. We have Marine Le Pen in France. We have a Reform Party in Great Britain. Here in Germany, we have the AfD, which is strongly supported by J.D. Vance, and J.D. Vance is even going to Hungary today to demonstrate his support for Hungary. So let's see what happens, and I'm sure I will be talking about it next week once we know what the situation actually is and we have a clear understanding of what the election results are. Anyway, thank you very much for listening to me. If you find this interesting, please feel free to leave a like and a subscription. I would also be very happy to read any comments you may have. What are your opinions? Could this be a forbearing indication of what's going to be happening in November in the midterms? I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you very much. Bye.